It's James, the Net News Ledger newsroom. Today we're here with Ian Hodgkinson, who's head of the Guardian Angels Canada. Ian, welcome to the studio.
How you doing?
Very good.
It's quite the setup.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Guardian Angels is hitting its 6 months in Thunder Bay since you arrived.
Yep.
Something you promised the city when you came here was you were going to give us a 6-month update. What do our viewers and readers need to know?
Well, first I'd like to say to everybody, thank you for taking the time to watch this. I wanted to do this interview with you instead of just writing, because when I write it, it's about this long and people might get tired of reading it. Cover a lot more details this way. When I originally got here in Thunder Bay in January, end of January, I said, everybody was asking me, what are you going to do? Are you this vigilante group? Are you this, you that, the other thing? You're not the police. I never said I was. I never intended to be. I only said I want to be a positive role model in the community, hopefully motivate people to make changes in their lives so they can find a better quality of life within. I originally joined the Guardian Angels over 20 years ago to be a good father, learn how to be a good role model for my kid. And it's worked out amazing. Over the last 20 years, all over the world, things are different. What works in Mexico doesn't work in Los Angeles. What works in Los Angeles won't work in Italy. What works in Italy definitely is not going to work in Thunder Bay. I've spent the last 6 months analyzing Thunder Bay in general. And I need to say that it is an overwhelming sensation to see how caring a city this is. There are a lot of people who do a lot more than I do, who do tons more than the Guardian Angels do. You don't need a red satin jacket with the logo to be a local role model. And there are amazing people in Thunder Bay, amazing agencies, people who constantly give. I've never seen any town volunteer as much as people do in Thunder Bay. It's amazing. Everybody, the quick response of when you call somebody for a medical emergency, when you call somebody for the police, when you call somebody for the fire department, you see the response is so quick. Me being in Latin America, I'm not used to that. Usually it takes 2 or 3 days before they even get there. It's just been a great feeling. Everybody was really curious as to what we were going to do because of our image from New York City in the 70s and early 80s, patrolling communities. I've been saying since day one, the Guardian Angels are changing. We are getting away from the street patrol mentality. We don't need it. Thunder Bay doesn't need it. It's a great city. We've walked the communities. We've made tons of friends, and people have said, it's great that you're here and you're doing great and we feel safer. Yeah, you feel safer, and thank you very much, but the whole idea was for you guys to join in and take care of your own community so we can go to another community and start spreading the music and the message so that the mission would grow. To some extent it has worked, but honest to God, the work that I've done in the high schools, the work that I'm starting to do, which I'm sure we're going to touch on with community living and young youth, young men and women and children who have a different lifestyle and some sort of disability, has been phenomenal. I think that's my niche because everything else is pretty much taken care of by itself.
So what are the Guardian Angels going to be heading to?
Well, I think, and I've talked to the guys in New York about it, and we started making changes in different chapters throughout the world. The need for the Guardian Angel mission now is very distinct. We have the tools because of our 33 years experience on the street to help kids who are in these programs, but we do things outside of the box. I'm a martial arts instructor, and I'm also a TV personality, and I continue in the world of professional wrestling. Those 3 things mixed together give me a unique sort of delivery system, and I've tailored our martial arts system, which I am a Krav Maga instructor. I'm certified to teach police, military, civilian, and youth throughout the world, which I have been doing, and I've taken that and we've started working with kids with physical and mental disabilities and that are overcoming drug addiction, alcohol addiction, or just abandonment in general. Of course, there's a lot of women also who take the courses who have suffered domestic violence. We have noticed, I have noticed that anytime you do something physical where you're hitting, that's another form of communication. It's an expression. And it's just something that empowers you because you do that at your own rhythm, you do it at your own pace, you do it the best that you can. There is no competition. The whole idea behind these programs and courses that are being developed and putting in place as we speak is to help people express themselves, find themselves, coexist with other people to learn how to fit in where they don't feel they are welcomed. And it's been nothing but successful. It's my passion, it's in my heart, it's what I do best, is motivate people. I've made a living as a public speaker, a motivational speaker, and I think that is the alternative for the Guardian Angels, because Thunder Bay has a huge, it's like a big pizza, and there's a lot of slices, but you're missing one or two or three. Maybe I can be an ingredient and help fill in that pie, right? Because so many cool things exist in the city, and I think that's where we should be going.
Now, I was out for an event you were doing with Thunder Bay Community Living with some kids, and then last week you had the same group of kids out a week later, and to be honest, the difference was incredible. What can you share with our readers on that?
We didn't expect the response to be as phenomenal as it was. I spoke with Community Living. They're well aware of the Guardian Angel program from our history, and I said, well, we have other alternatives in the system, and they said they are stuck because they have certain cases that they don't know what to do with anymore. For example, there's one young man who just has anger issues and the staff can't control him. We took him in, we put him through the martial arts steps, and just that whole philosophy of being in a dojo and working with other guys who speak the same language. That young man just broke down in tears and started to cry. So right then and there, the staff from Community Living saw we were onto something. So then we got a group of girls. The group of girls came in, there were 7 of them, each distinct, just because of their age, nationality, religious beliefs, and the traumas that they're suffering, the inner turmoil that they have. One came in, she was in like a semi-fetal position, almost under a desk, wouldn't even blink, wouldn't lift her head for any amount of money in the world. Within, I'm telling you, within 12 hours, she was singing the national anthem opera style. I have another girl, it was the most amazing thing I've seen, and she was just laughing and having fun. And we have another girl, she has cerebral palsy, and she's an Aboriginal young woman, and people just discriminate against her because of her disabilities. But she's a college graduate. And so we said, you know what, put on the knee pads and a boxing helmet, and she just went crazy and started hitting the pads and was laughing and falling down and breaking things, and we didn't know what to do, and her workers told me that we have never seen her so happy in the time that we've been with her. So once that happened, we also had another young woman who was going through some really traumatic issues because she was sexually abused. And she was just having all this fear and anger in here because she was so confused and she didn't know how to respond. So what she did is we put some martial arts exercises with pads, you know, just simple things like body checking with your shoulder, and then running to a tire, trying to pick up that big tire. And then after that, we have the special head that they use in boxing. They move it around so the boxers can see how to fight a person. Well, it's a different method of training. When she got a hold of that head, she just started kicking it like a football and bouncing it on the floor and slamming it and smashing it until she just couldn't do it anymore. And she came down on the floor and she called me over and she hugged me and she said, I have never felt so good in my life. And she started to cry and she said, thank you. So that's kind of some of the things that are happening.
That's, watching that, and even the other day we were at Norma Jean's on May Street, and the kids were there, and it was amazing. It was like 180-degree difference in only 4 or 5 days. You want to do more of that?
Most definitely. We have the Urban Angel program, which is a system that is going to be combining martial arts, obviously with life skills, kind of like an orientation course in everyday living. It's the simplest things to learning how to wash dishes, taking their curriculums and taking them on job interviews, doing things like going to the movies, going bowling. In exchange, if they have schoolwork, they come and study with us, they do their martial art training, which is eventually going to help them in life. I could care less if they become a ninja. The whole thing is just the discipline of movement and working in a group and getting that other type of communication in their system so they know how to function with security and self-confidence. And the empowerment that these young women are getting is phenomenal. Even their agency is like, I don't know what you've done, but we certainly can't do it here. Your thinking is outside the box. And I really see that's where the Guardian Angels are going. We're going to start focusing on empowerment, education, and just trying to keep people going down the right path, help them out, because the world needs that.
Ian, I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Thunder Bay. Thank you for everything.
Good job, girl. Right on. I can knock you right off your feet, though.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.